Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good? How's it going? So, the real question here is the real question: what are we gonna do now, given that we now know that money is printed? So, now that we know money is printed, and there's a lot of things that come along with that, what are we gonna do now? What's our move gonna be? How are we gonna move forward? How are we gonna value things, etc., etc.? So that is the question. You guys have all probably seen the numbers by now in terms of the January CPI. So let me just kind of talk about that. Over time, I'm gonna try to see how one could approach, how me specifically, and then maybe you guys could approach things in general, I guess, life in general, just knowing what we know now, what we've learned over the past couple years. And, I'm almost kind of proud of myself in a way, but then, because I've been trying to study. At first, I thought it was the Rothschilds, right? I came from the conspiracy background. That was my first forays into the internet. Asking some of these questions, like I thought it was the Rothschilds. I was like, oh, the Rothschilds, they like own all the banks and shit around the world. And then like I started understanding things more and more. Like I thought it was conspiracy and like, oh, we can't really do anything about it or whatever. And then over time I learned more and more. So I'm not gonna say there weren't Rothschilds and things like that. That's obviously that is history, and you can look into it yourself if you want. Very interesting. There are documentaries about some of these families, and it's just interesting. You don't have to extrapolate it any more than you want, but it's interesting history if you like that sort of thing. But we know now of the everyday mechanisms of banks and governments and things like that. At least some of them, not all of them. And then what do we? Okay, not obviously. That was the wrong word that I was about to say there. But like, I'd say probably the least obvious now is what do we do every day? Like I know I've actually printed some money, personally. I've created. I mean, it's credit, right? Because money is debt and all that things. We've talked about it in previous videos on the channel. This video is in the video, but this video is in the video to discuss it in depth. We'll probably discuss that later, like the basics. But debt is money. Actually, it's weird to say, and I don't really want to say it too much because that really kind of warps your thinking. I feel like maybe it might without you knowing it, and I don't necessarily want to be susceptible to that. Because maybe when I understand it more, I'll say that. But money is debt. I don't understand that fully, but I understand it enough to kind of, I guess, have more questions, honestly, because that still doesn't quite make sense to me. But that's just how our system, in one way, like that's kind of how money is created. So just think about it. If when you pay for something with credit, you have to pay back interest as well as the principal. So you've in essence created money because you went into debt. So just on a personal level, that like I've personally created money. So what I was trying to say earlier was like, in what ways do we contribute to inflation? So like I've personally created money that I will probably have to, and most people do, and that's why the system works on like money is debt, because when most people, if you want to buy a home, you don't pay for the home unless like you're one of those crypto multimillionaires going to Puerto Rico, and like the YouTubers and shit going to Puerto Rico and buying up the homes there. Like most people aren't doing that, right? So like you probably know people, if you not yourself have, actually the way things are going these days, we're becoming a renter nation. But if you bought a home, maybe you did it using like, essentially creating money, like using that process I talked about, where you have to pay back the principal plus interest. So essentially creating money once you pay it back, if you can pay it back. Not to talk about deleveraging here, but let's say it all works out and you pay it back, you've essentially kind of technically created money. But how many people can pay it back? When we talked about deleveraging in a couple of videos, okay, so that's, like I said, 30-minute in my last video, 30-minute videos is a possibility. I don't want it to go that long, but if we're going to go in depth on those concepts, just think about that. So if you're paying back the principal plus interest, and then not only do we do this on a personal level, governments do this. State and local governments do this, the federal government does this, and in essence, money is created, and then banks give out. You have like the fractional reserve system, which I'm not going to go over in this video, and plus I would love to learn more about it, but I'm not going to go over that in this video because I'm pretty sure it has to do with like money creation. Like they said, 97% of the money, and these are just numbers, I don't understand this completely, but like something like 97% of the money created is actually from the fractional reserve system. And I've yet to understand those numbers fully, but I've just heard that number. So let me just record my screen here. I just wanted to that's actually mainly what I wanted to say basically. So if you're one of those who watch my videos, kind of further into the video, I guess we can just talk about, I'll just show you the chart here. And I might just put the chart in. I did want to talk about the chart too. I feel like the video is long enough at this point. You know, probably should have went over first before I did it on the video, because like I did not know about the numbers like that much. Because I was only gonna go like 4 months back to when I started following it, and then tell you like 6% to 6.8% to 7% to 7.5%. That's what I was gonna say, but I had no clue it was at 0.3% in like what, April of 2020. So right when COVID started, it was like 0.3%, and even last January, it was like 1.3% or somewhere around there, like 1.3% to 1.5% or something like that. Even last January. So year over year, we increased in terms of January CPI. And this isn't even to say anything of like PPI or anything, or like the actual inflation, which is probably like double, somewhere around there. Just if you take those official numbers, we went from 1.3 to 7.5, so that's like 2.6 or 6.2, sorry. 6.2% increase year over year. Dang, that's crazy. But like, yeah. So I'll probably cut that video in two, and then we'll just go from there on the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I'll try to increase the clip of videos here, man, because like y'all are watching, so like it's probably on me that. But I'm just mostly trying to, because I'm still experimenting for one thing, and I'm trying to go for watch time on it, or not watch time, sorry, impressions. So I might actually post some music just to see what impressions does. I'm just curious on that. Yeah, man. But yeah, I have been slacking on making the videos, so I'll probably try to make more videos for y'all too. But alright, that's it. I'm done now. Alright, I'll catch y'all later. Think about those charts, man. I know those charts will be in my head. What can we do? I might have another video on that. And yeah, that's it for me. Alright, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.